Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So it's Donald Trump's very first rally after his conviction, first rally since his conviction. Uh, and let's see. Apparently, um, this Las Vegas is in Las Vegas, and I will have to tell you, look, it even Trump International Hotel. Yes, I've been to it. I have indeed been to um Las Vegas in as you see here. I don't know if the hotel is dedicated to Donald Trump. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Because I've been to Las Vegas. I saw the Trump International Hotel. Let's see. Yes, it was really cool there, honestly. I would love to go back. But yes, I would say by the Strat Tower. If you guys were remember, I went to Las Vegas probably in November of 2023, before election day, November 1st. I did a video on the rhinos, um two rhinos that were announcing that they wouldn't run for re-election. I was in um Las Vegas. So the quality of the video is bad. That's why. I did not have my software. So, yes, very good, great city, I would tell you. Yes, it's full of crime, especially at nighttime. That's when people are out. It is the I would say the casino gambling capital of the world. But yeah, I don't want to get distracted. I was just happy to hear Trump's at Trump Tower, which I find is a very interesting tower. So, and this is an interesting rally. You would be wondering how much support did he get? I would imagine, according to um, um, Fox News here, Trump has riled up a fiery swing state crowd in the first rally since New York conviction. So interestingly enough, so people showed up, but the question was, it looks like it was pretty hot. It said, Trump vows to end taxation of tips at sweltering. And sweltering means sweaty or hot. Or like seething in heat. So okay, maybe that's what they're saying. I'm not surprised because Las Vegas, it's in the Sun Belt, right? It's gonna be hot, and the liberal media, I think they're going to use that term to say, oh, it did not end up well. When if it didn't end up well, and it didn't go well for Trump, and I'm still waiting to hear, and maybe tomorrow we'll hear more on how that rally went. But um, I'm if it's low turnout, it's probably because of the sweltering heat, like they're talking about. But if they're just playing the word sweltering, and if I'm just taking the word too literally and for its definition, then I guess it went out very well for Donald Trump. And the bottom line, Nevada is a state that did vote for Joe Biden more than it did for more than Pennsylvania. That boggles your mind, right? Because Pennsylvania has Philadelphia, a city with over 1 million people, 80,000 people. I'm not 80,000, but 1 million people in the consolidated city of Philadelphia. And when it comes okay, we need to start on another bar, but yes, give me a second. I can't talk and type at the same time. Real clear politics, no toss up. Perfect. So now I lost my thought, but oh yes, Philadelphia, big city, 80% Democrat, over 1 million people. You'd think, oh yeah, that'd keep Pennsylvania past like probably like Michigan, where it's kind of hard to win the state. And when you look back to 2016, it does make sense because Nevada did vote for Hillary Clinton and was not a part of the 5 states. Well, he flipped more than 5. He flipped Ohio, Iowa. Yeah, Donald Trump flipped a lot of states in 2016. Nevada was not one of those states, surprisingly. And you'll see, yeah, he is. He even pulled at 8.4%. Um, that was in right? That was in February. Um, but yeah, he hit hit the top again. And I'm wondering if we can get back to 8%. Can we get back to 8%? I think we can. I think we can. And maybe that is a consideration on possibly flipping Clark County. Because a lot of people don't realize it, but Clark County, and that's the other thing. This doesn't make sense. Clark County in Las Vegas is more conservative than Philadelphia. So you would think absolutely that Nevada would be more conservative than Pennsylvania, but no, it's actually Pennsylvania more conservative than Nevada, according to our recent presidential election history. When it comes to that, Pennsylvania, a state that did vote for Trump in 2016, Nevada, a state that didn't vote for Trump and was kind of hard. Actually, it was more Democratic. It voted for Hillary Clinton more than Minnesota, which was interesting. So honestly, the tide has changed dramatically because I guess pop demographics, they change. Of course they do. But in the span of 8 years, that is a lot. So you'll see Clark County voted for Clinton by 52.43%. Same deal with 2020. They upped up the game to 53.60%. So you'll be like, oh, 53%, that's not bad. Not bad for a big city, especially a city like Las Vegas, which is world renowned. And usually when we have world renowned cities like Los Angeles and New York, they are all the way up to 80% for Democrats. Clark County, the fact that Clark County is 53% is a great sign. And it has gotten, I would say, over time. In Obama era went 58%, it went 56%, landslide for Democrats. But you can kind of see going back and forth. The last time Clark County went and voted in an election for Democrats in a 60% clip is actually 1964. So that comes to show Clark County has always been in a tilting competitive county to win. And I think Donald Trump is absolutely smart to campaign in Las Vegas. And when it comes to winning the state of Nevada, you kind of have to focus all that campaign energy in Las Vegas. Not to mention, it does attract people from Arizona and people from California and Utah and other areas, right? So, yes, Clark County is a great hot spot. Grab some attention. It's not a big riot and drive to Phoenix to Clark. So I predict that a lot of people from Phoenix came to the rally today to support Trump. And especially if he was convicted, they're definitely going to go on let's see, a 3-hour drive to Phoenix to LV to support him, which is great. But here is our updated map. We are at 5.3%. And of course, there is the state of Washoe, not the state, but the county of Washoe. And we can study that county too. But Washoe County is another big county. I don't know what Wash County and Washoe and Clark counties are the only counties that are significantly over 100,000 people. But there's a city of Reno, and Reno is a big city. That makes sense. That's a city that a joint flight that I took from Las Vegas. They were going to continue to Reno, and we're like, no, we're going to stay in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, but yes, 226 264,000. So what? I did not know so much about Reno. So if you're from Reno, shout out to you. You guys could possibly keep Flip Nevada red. But yes, campaign in Reno, definitely. Do that. Do Reno and uh, Las Vegas. There's no reason why you can't. Sure, Reno is obviously not renowned. Even I didn't know what it was. But if you're from LV, or if you're from Nevada, or even California, you know what Reno is. Come on. Even Utahns know. But yes, Reno, definitely a very popular city. Uh, yeah, it's more popular. It has more people than Minneapolis. Lots of people. But yes, looking at elections, you'll see, and here's another thing to be optimistic, guys. Uh, Nevada is a state where in 2020, abortion didn't really affect the outcome. Sure, Catherine Cortez Masto won re-election. Boo hoo. It's like, ugh, yeah, I don't mean that to be sarcastic. It's just, I mean, it's frustrating. And the thing was, Republicans didn't early vote because what happened? Snowstorm, a storm of some kind, stopped Republicans from turning out. And that's why we have Adam Laxalt losing barely. But yeah, Cortez Masto was supposed to be donezo. Look at all those polls. She was done. Oh, actually, no. This is the Republican primary. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, look at all that. She was trying. It's just frustrating, and because Republicans don't early vote, and Nevada's one of those states, and but I hear we're getting better. We are getting better. But I want to talk about Nevada in regards to abortion. That issue didn't really work, right? It didn't really work out well because we got Joe Lombardo. He's pro-life, but he didn't campaign on abortion. He kept his abortion views out. People knew he was pro-life, but he never said, "Oh, I'm going to ban abortion because." And I'm not saying trying to ban abortion is okay. To my pro-life subscribers, I'm not trying to say that. But when it comes to campaigning in these blue liberal areas, you need to keep the controversial stuff because that's kind of what happened in Minnesota. Scott Jensen was doing pretty well until Roe v. Wade was overturned. Because originally, Scott Jensen was going to pledge to put abortion restrictions. Well, now that Roe v. Wade's overturned, this only made the people in Minnesota very anxious, and you get Tim Walz being reelected by 9 points. Thanks to the abortion issue. It's just ridiculous. But yes, that forced Scott Jensen to go backwards and actually change his views a bit. He goes and says, "No, I support abortion only if it's rape and incest." Well, okay, but if you go backtrack, that makes you look really incompetent. Really incompetent. Like you bend the knee. You bend the knee to your opponent. Okay, I'll let my opponent influence my views on abortion. No. Well, and yeah, and that makes you look weak, and that signals to your party, the other side, your party, that's you. I'm a weak leader. I bent the knee to the opponent, and the chances are small that you'll be renominated by them. It's just ridiculous. A huge mistake, if you ask me. But Yes. Yes, this is Stavros Anthony. He did pretty. Yeah, we flipped this office too. But yeah, I think that's all. Bottom line is, I am optimistic, of course, about Trump and his performances. I think obviously the conviction has helped him, absolutely, because we got people like what's it called, Dr. Phil, moderate, but I would say he's center right. But he came out and said he's supporting Trump, and he's actually interviewing in his defense, meeting the liberal media like CNN and MSNBC as they scold him for an hour. And we have Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's not a political guy. I think he's a common sense guy. Like, he's not doing this because he's a Trump supporter, and he's not. He's not a Trump supporter. He's a common sense supporter. You don't prosecute your opponent for stupid stuff, so your candidate, your guy who's running for re-election can win. That's wrong. How is that morally okay? How do you, as a good person, say that's okay? Oh, Trump, insurrectionist! Insurrectionist! He's going to incite another insurrection if he loses, and if he wins, he's not going to leave! Okay, yeah, I think I have a hard time seeing how that can happen, seeing that the legislative branch has more power than the executive branch. And if Trump ever said he wasn't going to leave, he would be trounced and he would be arrested, like the Democrats want to see. But no, they don't want to talk about that. Nope, that possibility's not going to happen. No. It's like ridiculous. No, it is not okay what you're doing. Not okay to prosecute Trump because he's running for election. And guess what? Guess what? If Trump really did it, and what if it was the seriousness was so big as they're saying, they would have indicted this guy before he announced his campaign. But 5 months into the campaign, after he announced his campaign and run for election, he's shoved into a courtroom and he's there for a year, and he's forced to pay her up all that money. That's why we have people like Dr. Phil, moderate. I don't care. Those of you guys who say that Dr. Phil is far right, like this article. Like I've seen so much. Yeah. CBS Dr. Phil has become a safe space for right-wing. What's it called? Okay. For right-wing personalities to spread hate and misinformation. I'm sorry if you find logic and common sense to be hurtful and misinformative. It's kind of sad how we actually how we are, I would say, um it's just sad how we're telling our kids to deny reality, to listen to our feelings. The trend appears to be a distinct turn for the show in contrast to the previous season. Dr. Phil now tackles conservative culture war issues like critical race theory, transgender athletes, cancel culture, quote unquote, of course we're going to quote that, culture, appropriation, and abortion. But yes, this guy, Dr. Phil, is the most logical and reasonable guy. He made it clear if Biden was ever prosecuted by Republicans, he would condemn it. And to be honest, I hope they don't. I really hope they don't, because, guys, how hypocritical are we if we do win and we take the White House and we go and turn around and we take Biden and throw him in a court? How hypocritical is that? And that doesn't make Trump look good, because we have people like Dr. Phil coming out here and supporting him. We have Susan Collins coming out and supporting Trump for once. I don't know if she got endorsed, but for once, very first time in her career, she is actually defending this man. Wow, this woman, I would say, is more left-wing than Liz Cheney and Lowell Weicker combined. And she is supporting Trump. I wouldn't say supporting, defending, which I actually think is more better. You got, what's her name? Miss Rose. Amber Rose. Okay, I knew that was, yes, Amber Rose, very woke, very pro-feminist. She's a part of the pro-feminist mob, and she angered a lot of people for endorsing Trump, because actually she did research and she said Trump's very pro-woman. And she actually has a very big positive and compromisable, logical and reasonable approach when it comes to abortion. Yeah, HuffPost, like Huff and Puff, goes and says, Amber Rose introduces everyone to her MAGA era. Well, honestly, I don't trust Amber Rose. I think she's still a left-winger. And to be honest, I mean, yeah, she said she broke free from the radical left, and I applaud that. I hope I'm not expecting her to be a Trumper. No, I don't think she'll ever be a Trumper. She's endorsing Trump. That doesn't make her a Trumper. I expect her to be pro-abortion. Heck, she made it clear she's still pro-choice. Huff and Puff News, or Huff and Puff Post, says that's not good enough. You need to follow the blue line of the Democrat Party. You are an NPC, a subject of the deep state. And Amber Rose stepping off that blue line to venture off as a free American, like like this country was founded on? How dare you? Get back on the line, Amber Rose. As a woman of color, you need to be on that blue line. And you need to give money to corrupt people that prosecute people that didn't do anything wrong just to get attention. And once again, power. It's just ridiculous. But I talked a lot about different stuff today. We talked about Nevada. We talked about Dr. Phil. We talked about the conviction. But yes, this conviction is dull and dumb. Like, I mean, absolutely. And that's why we have unique individuals, characters coming out. Like Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, I have a feeling, was always conservative. I think he's more libertarian. I think he's a libertarian. I don't think he's a Republican. I don't think he is. I think he's an independent. But he is a conservative. I can agree with that. He's not far right like the Huff and Puff and new whatever it is says he is. Because we know how the left is. Anything you disagree with them is you're a far right terrorist. Cope. Big liberal cope. A left-wing cope. You're thrown into a realm of left-wing cope, like whatever. Go ahead. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.